Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Slay the Gray Hobby Hangout. Today I am painting some 3D printed miniatures from a creator called Station Forge, and they make really good Death Corps of Krieg Imperial Guard proxies, or that's what I'm going to use them for. But this is what I am going to be painting today. So last week I was working on a Dreadnought, the Ballistus Dreadnought from the Leviathan starter set. I decided to paint these guys instead because I started painting this guy over the weekend, completed him, and started the other squad of 10. And I was having so much fun, so I thought I would just finish these up before I move on to something else. So I'm going to be slowly building a Death Corps of Krieg army using these guys as proxies, maybe throw in some actual tanks and stuff at some point. But yeah, it's kind of a side project. So yeah, so this is the weekly live stream I do every Monday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we have new videos coming out every other Friday. That's Friday's probably the day I'm going to be posting regularly. So if you're catching this after the fact, I will be doing this weekly at Mondays at 7, and then we got a new video coming out every other Friday, which is this week, so there should be a new video coming out this week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get started on painting these. So you can see I've already got started, but what I did is I just primed these all black, and then I did an airbrush using some Army Painter Militia Green, or Milita Green, Militia Green, for their jackets, and then I just did a little dry brush of Elysian Green. So I'm not going to be painting these guys up as detailed as some of my other stuff, simply because you need a lot of infantry for a guard army. Wait, crap, what? Hello, Avery. Anyways, you need a lot of infantry for a guard army, so I'll be using some speed paint kind of methods to try to get the best detail as possible with least amount of effort. Yes, you are first. You are first. Welcome, Avery. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. So I did the pants and um the wraps around the boots. So now I'm going to be doing I think the dark leather next. So to do that, I'm gonna be using Rhinox hide. Get some of that on the wet palette. Still good from the other day, so I'm kind of reusing my palette here. But you can't see, it's not in frame. Let me pan over just a little bit. Maybe better show what I'm doing. Alright, and we'll get a little bit of water. And we'll zoom in. Alright, so here's the painting zone. Alright. Just gotta thin this out with some water so it's easy to control. Get my mic closer to my face. And here we go. I'm just gonna go over all the leather straps on these guys with Rhinox hide. How long does the palette last for? OMG. It lasts until it dries out. I added some more water. and then you replace the sheets and the sponge periodically. I'm using the Army Painter one, so it's like maybe $20 for 50 sheets and 2 pads, and that lasts about 6 months or so. I use it. I mean, I try to use up all the space, but if I haven't painted in a few days, I'll just throw away the sheet and get a fresh one because the paint kind of starts to dry up on it and get a little funny, or else it absorbs too much water from the pad and it's too broken down. So at that point, it's just better to start fresh. It's a little dark. I'm trying to get the... There we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, so I'm trying to do this quick while also being neat. Because the goal is speed. I plan on having a mostly infantry army for these guys, so I'm going to need to paint over 100 at some point for a full 2,000 point list. And then some. Because they're kind of a horde army. I've always loved the Death Corps of Krieg. Oh, I forgot. I also have to do the boots the same color. So I'm doing this assembly line style. Just going a little quick here. Kind of a change of pace from what I normally do. If I can't paint these guys quick, then I don't think I can do this as an army. Otherwise, I'll never finish. So he's got his glove holding the gun here. I'm going to paint that. Nice dark brown leather. And on we go. Starting with the pouches on the belt. So I think I should be able to do this pretty quickly. The one test model took maybe under an hour from start to finish, if I had to say. Kind of hard to tell because I did a little bit of batch painting with the green on the coats. But if I were to just paint one model from start to finish, I think it would take about maybe just under an hour, especially now that I got the scheme figured out. So I'm hoping to capitalize on some efficiencies here with the batch painting, so I can crank out batches of 10 at a time. That should be pretty manageable. Brown on the boots. Also have to be a little careful because I don't have these guys mounted on bases yet. So making sure I don't touch any of the parts that are still wet with my hand. Just going kind of quick here. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's mainly trying to be neat on the areas you actually see. Just going around the belt here. And the pouches. Rinse, lather, repeat. So something that they say you should do is always be painting inside out. Meaning you paint the lowest recessed details first. So like that'd be an inner shirt or undershirt, and then, you know, the layers on top. Because it's easier to layer on outer details than it is inner details. So, for example, here, the jacket painted first. Now I'm doing the leather straps going on the outside. Inside out. So normally with 3D printed models, I'm kind of like not as excited about them, you know, for being used as a proxy for 40K. But these, on the other hand, are just really good, super amazing. I think they look as good as Citadel, if not better. Definitely a fine substitute. I mean, I think they look so good I went ahead and printed some. And I would feel comfortable making a whole army of these. So, props to the artist who made these. I think they look great. I'm not used to painting such small scale guys. Usually Space Marines, really big in comparison to regular humans. Three down. 5 to go. 6 to go. The benefit to this scheme is it's all very dark, so kind of really utilizing that dark undercoat to kind of hide and tie up some of that detail, so I don't have to paint everything perfectly. Going down the straps. So these guys are modeled. They can have a pack, or you can just use the this little pack that they have on their back here. But I printed some actual packs for them. They just fit right over the back here. So I'm gonna paint those up as well. I figured I would use the full backpack guys as the Deathcore Kriegs, and then if I run any infantry squads in this army, I would do them without the backpack so I can tell them apart. Just kind of had some visual distinction between them. Happy New Year! David, welcome. I called an audible and decided to paint some Deathcore of Krieg 3D printed guys I printed over the weekend. Just starting a little side project. These are from a creator called Station Forge. Makes some excellent Deathcore of Krieg proxies. Slight variation in the gas mask design and other minor details, but overall I think they look really good. So I'm gonna do a whole army of them as a side project. Astromillion models, yes. But this is the final product that they're gonna look like. Kind of doing like a speed paint style on them. Not really going all out, just because I have, like you said, a million models to paint. So that's the plan. Looks pretty sharp. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that result. And the best part is, I think I can do them pretty quickly too. So, I was saying earlier, my plan is to do pretty much all infantry, because I have proxies for Earthshaker cannons and the Medusas, so I can have some artillery in the back. I also have some proxies for the Death Riders. This designer makes a lot of really good stuff that looks really good, so I'll be slowly printing that and painting these guys up in addition to my other stuff. Just kind of a fun project on the side. I don't know, I feel like with a lot of people, eventually you do an Astra Militarum army. They're just so classic and iconic. My first Deathcore scheme I did for the Kill team that came out think I painted that team up maybe 12 months ago or so. Those I did in a light tan scheme. Um, but I remember seeing some really cool Krieg art and seeing this forest green, dark green paint scheme, and I thought it looked really cool. So that's the color I'm doing the army in. Very dark, very grimdark. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this palette already. Yeah, a lot of neutral colors. Very military. What about you, David? You working on anything at the moment? Or are you just hanging out? Water around here. Oh, this rat oxide covers really well, even when it's nice and thin. That's good. Well, I tend to not hobby on Monday, but I shipped out the base to the Triumph, so thinking I might start on that tonight. Nice. The Triumph. That is a project. Good luck. Yeah, speaking of big projects too, my wife got me a monolith for Christmas for my Necrons. That's sitting over on the table next to me, so I have that to work on as well. I'm going to the Adepticon convention here in the US in March. And I'm thinking about trying to make a list for a doubles tournament that uses a Necron monolith. Just so I can use my new model. I think it'd be kind of funny. Yeah, all the little pieces. All the little pieces of detail. All the purity seals. All the little candles. All the little reliquary. There's a group from my local game store that's going to Adepticon. Awesome. Yeah, I went there last year. I just kind of went during a Saturday and kind of walked around and checked it out. And then I realized I should have tried to register for some events. So I'm going with my cousin, and we're doing a 40K doubles tournament, and then doing some other events. We're playing BattleTech and Armada. But yeah, we're going for I think about the full time. Might end up leaving on the Sunday when it ends, but really looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I wonder what the big announcement is going to be from Games Workshop. They're going to announce. Hope you have a good time. A grand time, yes. I hope I do too. This is my favorite. This guy, he's running, and he's holding a shovel. I mean, how Krieg is that? Oh yeah, and then another thing to mention, this designer also makes a bunch of these guys in dead poses. So I'm going to print a few of those up and paint them up. So then once they start dying on the table, I'll litter the dead on the field. I'm also sure about doing events. I'm not a competitive player, but the idea of entering a tournament, yeah. He who runs with a shovel has graduated from scissors. Yeah, well the tournament I'm doing, it's not a super competitive one. They have like a competitive doubles tournament, and they have kind of a more casual one. So that's the one I entered into, because I'm definitely not at that level, especially at Adepticon. That'd be pretty intense. But yeah, I imagine there'll be some hard armies to play against, but maybe some easier ones. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. But I don't know. I think it should be fun. And then I'm actually playing another tournament, another doubles tournament this weekend on Friday. That one's a much smaller one. I think there's only about a dozen teams or so. I'm gonna bring some Eldar to that one. And I think so was my teammate, actually. We were bouncing around between a bunch of different team-up ideas. I think we landed on Eldar. Getting these back straps. Yeah, this isn't too bad. I should be able to crank out 150 of these guys, right? At some point, at least. 150, sheesh. Well, I'm going to do a unit of 10 riders, for sure. And then I'm going to do 3 units of 20 Death Corps of Krieg. Probably 3 command squads. 3 units of 20 infantry, so I can have the heavy weapons teams, and then a heavy weapons team, 3 Medusas, and 3 Earthshakers. And that should be about 2,000 points on the nose. And then I went to a swap meet the other day, and in the bottom of this terrain bin, there's a very beat up Baneblade for $20, missing a couple sponsons. So I just got to get the bits for the sponsons. I could probably 3D print those or see if some of my friends have some. And clean up that tank and paint it. And I'll have a Bane Blade for my Krieg army. That'll be really cool. Hey Todd, watching someone else do batch painting instead. Haha. Krieg look great, Sam. Thank you, Todd. Yep, just doing the grind. How are your orcs coming along? Did you get all those squigs done? Your 2 boxes worth? This guy's the radio man. The Voxcaster. No, I haven't been very motivated to paint lately. You know what it is? It's the lack of sunlight. Seasonal depression. Vitamin D does wonders. But I hear ya. The inspiration ebbs and flows. Sometimes painting something new will get you motivated again. That's kind of why I'm painting these guys tonight instead of continuing my Dreadnought from last week. Had to get this out of my system. And just painting the pouches on the last guy in this batch. Oh, first mistake of the evening. Just gonna wick that away with some water. And the mistake is fixed. Close call. I'm sure he'll just get killed by a stray bullet, though. And the last boot. Oh, so this guy's got a knife out. That's pretty cool. He's holding a knife under his rifle. Fired. All right. Just gotta do these backpacks, and I think I'll just do these in a big brush real quick. What's the radio man got? He's got a, looks like a metal backpack. So I'll come back to that. Let's see, bigger brush, bigger brush. Too big. Oh, this will work. It doesn't have to be neat. Alright, so just gonna do brown on the backpack. It's got a little canteen. And a bedroll and a shovel on the side. That's cool. Just gonna give this a brown base coat. Pick out some of the details after that dries. Trying to increase my speed and accuracy. Because I would like to eventually get these guys all done and play a few games with them before the new Astra Militarum Codex comes out, whenever that is. I'm afraid they're gonna move some of the Krieg stuff into Legends. I don't know why. I could just see them doing that. Or maybe they'll come out with new Krieg stuff to replace the Forge World ones. That'd be cool. Either way, I'm feeling motivated for this army, so gonna strike while the iron is hot. Whoops. Almost done with the brown. I can move on to a more exciting color. So I don't know about you, I'm getting a little sick of the brown. I think I could do some armor next. Alright, gonna take this junk brush and throw it off to the side here. This is why I never throw away brushes. Even something as hideous as this can still serve a purpose. Okay, the next color we're going to do is the armor plating and the helmet and the hoses. And that is going to be Corvus Black. It's a very, very, very dark gray. Almost black. It's almost like an off black. But it kind of reads to the eye as black. Where are you? Here you are. Darker than Eshin Gray. But not quite Abaddon Black. Gonna get some of that on my palette. Thin it with some water. Thin it with some more water. There we go. Alrighty. So this, I'm going to get the goggles on the inside. Trying to not get on the mask that I painted. There we go. And the helmet. Also using this as an opportunity to clean up any paint that would have gotten on the helmet by just painting it over with Corvus Black. As well as the hoses for the gas mask. Now these guys come with a backpack. This little pack here, which I don't have to paint because that's going to get covered up. So I'll just leave that green. And then most of these guys have knee pads. So I'll paint those the same armor color with Corvus Black. And again on the shoulder pads. I think I'm doing the gun butt, the stock Corvus Black as well. Yeah, I'm gonna try to speed this up here. I want to try to finish this squad tonight. That's my goal. We'll see if I can do it. That'll kind of give me an indication as how realistic my goal is to complete a whole army of these guys. stock. And the shoulder pads. Yeah, so whenever you're painting an army, it's like you gotta find the balance between quality and speed. Some afford more quality, like the fewer model counts, or others you just gotta make some sacrifices. Guard, Tyranids, Orcs, Gene Stealer Cult. Anything that's got a lot of models. Although my Gene Stealer Cults I've been painting high detail, so I haven't really touched them in a while because it's a bit exhausting, to be honest. But I'm sure I'll pick them up again this summer when the new codex comes out. That'll be exciting. Looking forward to that. Maybe they'll come out with some new models. Alright, I'm going to try to get the view zoomed in just a little bit more, so you can see what I'm doing. That's better. Not worrying about being super neat. Hoping that the darkness of the model will just kind of tie everything together and kind of hide some of those mistakes. It's got some kneecaps, knee pads over his kneecaps. You're watching this and the stream has ended and you stumble across this video. Stream every Monday from 7 p.m. Central. Painting Warhammer or miniatures. Not always Warhammer, but painting miniatures, and we also have other great stuff on the channel. Battle reports, terrain crafting, other painting videos. New videos every other week. If you like that kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. Really helps the channel grow. Alright. Get this stock. Probably won't even see this stock once it's on. Once I glue these arms on, but might as well. Once I get all these base coats down, I'll be doing some washes and some dry brushing. A little bit of layering. But we're not going to go crazy, because this scheme is all about speed. If I can't paint these guys quickly, I probably shouldn't do a Krieg army. Now, if this is the only thing I was doing, then maybe I'd spend a bit more time. But I have too many other armies and a big backlog of stuff I want to get to. Yet I decided to print myself an army. Why do I do this to myself? I have hobby ADD. And the age of 3D printing just really enables that. Alright, 4 more guys to go. Batch painting is the way. It could be kind of a grind, but it is the most efficient way to paint an entire squad. Right, Corvus Black on the gun stock. Oh, forgot the shoulder pad. 3 more to go. Need some more paint. Oh yeah, and then there's the bases for these guys. Printed off some base toppers. They're like a trench with mud and rocks. So I got those. So I'm doing those slap chop with some contrast paint. Just something real simple. But yeah, I think it looks good. Get some cool textured bases. Oh, this hose is a little different on the box caster. I will paint the Corvus black anyways. Helmet Corvus black. I also think I'll do the box Corvus black as well, and then I'll pick out some details with a metallic paint. Got this box on the side here. I'll just paint that Corvus black. I'm not really sure what's coming out of here. What if I printed the wrong arm? If they're supposed to have like a radio that hooks up into here. I'll have to check that for my other squads. But I gave this guy binoculars, which seems fitting for a box caster. Some nice bases, saves a lot of work. Yeah. Yeah, same designer did base toppers too, so I figured, why not? I'll print those up as well. Glue them on some 25 mils millimeter bases. Little slap chop, call them done. And the funny thing is, they'll probably be like some of the fanciest bases I have for my armies. Something I should do more is look for base toppers, because there's some really cool stuff out there. I can just 3D print and paint instead of having to always do earth textures and all that stuff by hand with like texture paints and all that stuff. The era of 3D printing. It's wonderful. So many possibilities. I mean, the terrain alone that you can print is awesome. Although you get in this like min-max mindset where you feel like you always have to have your printer running and printing something. At least I do. Shoulder pads. And rifle stock. Alright, and then I'm just going to paint these canisters on these backpacks. Gonna try to not paint the leather straps. I don't know what's in these canisters. Food? Ammo? Dirt from all the trenches they've dug? Take a piece of their battlefields home with them? Explosives? All these backpacks are very similar yet different. Which is cool, because I like the variation. Alright. Time to move on to another color. Maybe I'll do some bases real quick. Just to kind of mix it up a little bit. So these I'm slap chopping. And I've been using Krygor brown, I think, for the dirt. Krygor brown. Be careful not to get those rocks, because I want those to be gray. Oh! Butterfingers. I know what I could do. I got these painting handles. Might as well use them. The chat lag is real. Yeah, I've been noticing that too. I'm not sure what I can do about that. It seems to have gotten worse since the latest, I use OBS to stream. Seems to have gotten worse since that latest update. My wife, who also streams video games, also has noticed that her chat has been lagging a bit longer than normal. So we don't know if it's OBS or if it's our internet or what. So apologies there. I'll have to do a little bit more research and see if there's anything else I can do on my end to fix that or make it better. Yeah, but hopefully we can just make do with what we have for now. I'm sure me being in the basement with wireless internet isn't helping the situation. Getting the dirt all around the base. Think about also getting some snow. It's not letting me post what the canisters are for. They're items worn on the face of the soldiers. Oh, they're for the masks? Is that where they keep the gas masks? I suppose that makes sense. Although I'm thinking they're deathcore. They don't take off their masks. That's what they need the canisters for. That's the real question. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Is restoring the masks. Kind of obvious now. Duh. Imagine it's modeled after World War I military gear, where they store their masks. I think part of the reason why these praxis look so good is because it's kind of hard to have the World War I trench fighter aesthetic be unique to a specific IP, because Games Workshop kind of copied World War I military uniforms, so from like the coat style and the masks and everything, so I imagine it's pretty hard for them to crack down on some of these designers that make some proxies that look very close to what they make. Versus something like a Space Marine, where that's pretty iconic and harder to imitate without it being a copyright infringement. Copyright law. It's nuanced. Yeah, but this designer's been making stuff for a while, so I'm sure if they haven't got a cease and desist yet, they're probably okay. They also make some Tyranid stuff, and that looks very unique in comparison. So definitely, clearly a different design aesthetic all around for their I forgot what they call their Tyranids, like Zen Xenonid or something. Kind of like a play on Xenos and Nid. Those look pretty cool, but I prefer the Games Workshop Tyranid look. So, not saying that the Station Forge stuff looks bad for Tyranids, but it just doesn't look as cool. But yeah, like I said, the Krieg stuff, on the other hand, looks just as good or good enough to where I would use them. So, which I think says a lot for proxy models. Because it's very rare that I actually get really excited about proxies. Because I just really like the Games Workshop aesthetic. They make some good models. So it's really hard to compete with. The new Tyranid sculpts are pretty slick. Oh, let's see what we got here. It's not... World War II German soldiers. I think World War I, they used canvas or rubberized canvas satchels. GW didn't put a lot of effort into hiding what they based the guard regiments on. Yeah. That's the truth. The new guard, the new Cadians, they're like straight out of World War II. World War II Americans. Which is pretty cool, because I like that look too. I'm a World War II, I shouldn't say fan, history buff. Maybe it's more appropriate. It's just fascinating time. Like, that was probably the last time in modern history where there's any sort of like mass ground combat like that ever. So like, wonder what we as, you know, humanity learned from like military tactics and things like that from actually seeing some of that theory executed. I'm sure we had like the Korean War and Vietnam and stuff after that, but nothing really on the scale of World War II. And there's just so many facets to that era as well. Between the different theaters and everything. Super fascinating history. Alright. Getting paint all over my fingers. And I'm going to do Bisilicanum Gray on the rocks on the base. Give us a good shake. Gray stones. Yeah, so for these bases I just did black undercoat and then dry brushed white on top. The old slap chop prep. And then just using contrast paints mostly. Something quick and simple. But yeah, I think maybe some snow on these bases would look really cool. Kind of like a Stalingrad winter Winter Warfare. Yeah, tactical doctrine has certainly changed since 1945. Yeah. Yeah, we got drones and smart bombs. Stuff they certainly didn't have back then. Yeah, able to do more warfare without actual human-to-human contact, which is interesting. Alright, and then for the wood planks and the mud, I like to use, this is one of my favorite contrast colors, used for wood, Wildwood. It's got really great color. Nice shade of brown. Huge fan of the Wildwood. It's probably one of my favorite contrast paint colors. It's great for terrain. The lights look great. The darks look great. Nice, rich, warm tone. Wildwood. Alright, chat. Last week I asked least favorite Space Marine Legion or chapter. What is your least favorite Primarch? Do you have a least favorite Primarch? And I apologize if I already asked this because I don't think I did, but we're going to talk about our least favorite Primarchs. I think mine is Rogaldorn. Because he doesn't do anything. And he's kind of a jerk. After that, I think Korax. I'm not a huge fan of. Because he's a failure. No? No least favorite Primarchs? That's fair. Wildwood. Such a good color for terrain. And anything wood. All your wood needs. Alright, so this one I didn't paint. I'm going to paint a different color. So this is kind of like the spiky fence. Palisades? Balustrade? I don't know. I'm making up words. Spiky fence. I'm going to paint a different color. You can see it's kind of like something different. So we're going to use Gore Grunta for that. It's just a lighter brown. Break up our wood coloring just a little bit. Alright, bases are about set. I'm just going to do a little dry brush on those once those once they dry. No one's dying except for these poor guardsmen. They get the short end of the stick in the 41st millennium. Alright, Lead Belcher. For some metallics. This is going to go on the las gun. On the gas mask. And on some of their decorative pieces on their like belt buckles and things like that. But I can come back to that for that. We're just going to do the las guns and the gas mask. Valve? Vent? Opening? We'll call it an opening. And the las guns. I just go all around the las gun. Ah, yes. I'm also going to wash this with Nuln Oil, so not worrying about being terribly neat here. Gray miniatures matter. Hello, Ben. I'm painting deathcore today, Ben. I went and did it. I started 3D printing my own army. Deathcore. Thanks for joining us, Ben. What are you working on? Are you working on anything? Are you just hanging out? In either case, your company is welcome. I heard you had around 40. I have 20. I printed 20. I also printed 10 dead guys, too. They're in dead poses. I'll have to show you them. They're really cool. Oh, I mentioned earlier that there's a new video every other week. And there's a new video coming out on Friday, I'm aiming for, featuring Ben. Oh, you're working on Chaos Knights? Is that what you're working on, Ben? That's exciting. Very exciting. Are you going to do a whole army of Chaos Knights, or are you going to ally them with your 1,000 Suns? Or your Death Guard? So Ben, what do y'all got for your knights? You have the armored, the war dogs, solo and allied. The scheme will be House Klugensteinschlagen. Did I say that right? What are the colors of House Klugensteinhagen? What are the colors? Are they gray? Ah, yeah, baby. Hilarious. Paint is drying up on my brush. Yellow for brilliance, purple for majesty, black for chaos. Yellow's hard, man. Just fair warning. Unless you have an airbrush, that makes it a bit easier. But that's pretty cool. I'm excited for you. New armies are fun. Knights are cool. Yeah, the checkerboard pattern look. Ooh. Ooh. Have you started painting yet, or are you just in the planning phase? Are you gonna fully magnetize these guys too? I know a lot of people do that for knights. Forever planning. Fully magnetized loadout. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Did I mention, Ben, our Combat Patrol Battle Report will be out on Friday? I just need to finish editing it. These guys, very grimdark, a little sloppy, but I'll be going over this with gnome oil, and it'll hide all my mistakes. Magic in a bottle. Excited to see all the new personals and twists you put in. There's a little bit of it. Gotta keep the time down. We might have to do more takes next time. Let's just say that. But it's a process. They're getting better each video. But it was a good game. I liked their game. Looking forward to getting that one out. Those games are always the best games. Indeed. I had a close game with Todd. I don't know if he's still on listening, but We played at the store, local game store, last Tuesday. Orcs vs Ultramarines. It's a pretty close game. It was a lot of fun. Did your doubles tournament is on Friday. Looking forward to that. Seeing how we're gonna do a dual Eldar list. We've decided. Or I should say my teammate decided, Andrew. I knew what I was gonna do the whole time. But he had quite a few armies to pick from. He landed on Eldar. So he's doing like a Yanari focused Eldar, and I'm doing Craft World Eldar. So it should be interesting. Hi, Todd. Hey, Ben, if you get your army painted up in time for Adepticon, I think Todd's looking for a teammate for a doubles tournament. If he hasn't found one yet. 3-color minimum. That's the requirement. Tell me which one to paint. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the doubles tournament with my cousin Luke. We're gonna go to the whole thing. I think he's gonna do 1,000 Suns. And I'll probably do Necrons. Same one, same as in. Haven't got one not yet. Luke is a great strategist. He'll be in great hands. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Luke is the Imperial Guard player featured on the channel. A couple battles from 9th edition. Hey, let's do a silver antenna. Why not? 1,000 Suns are tough. I'm trying to talk him into bringing Magnus. I know it's only 1,000 points, though, he has to make, which is kind of hard to squeeze Magnus in 1,000 points. But I'm trying to squeeze in a Monolith. I think that'd be funny. Or maybe I could try to bring the Silent King. I got some Necron detachments I can play with and see if I can find a fun combo that'll complement the 1,000 Suns. Binoculars. Yeah, we'll do those. We'll do those lead belcher. Why not? Alright, almost done with this lead belcher. This doesn't sound like Alan Parsons. I'd get copyright struck. I'd love to play Alan Parsons Project while I paint for you all. That'd be amazing. And I'm not going to sing it either because I'm not in a singing mood. I got stomped by them in a GU tournament. It was pretty much wide by the end. All right, now that we're chatting in the chat, I'm gonna ask it one more time. Least favorite Primarch. Next, I'm gonna do Baneblade Brown for some. His leg straps and the bedrolls on the backpacks. Logar. He's a little... I like Logar. Just because he's so comically evil. I also like, Fulgrim. I don't know why. He's kind of, twisted, but, I think he's an entertaining character. But I respect that. A lot of people don't like Logar. He kind of grows on you. Layman Russ for sure. Yes! Thank you. He's a little obnoxious. The Space Wolves in their plot armor. Gonna paint the leg straps in Baneblade Brown. I want Angron to have a better backstory and the reason for his fall. I could consider him close to the bottom too narratively. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Other than he's just angry all the time. I'm also not a huge fan of the Night Haunter. What's his name? Conrad Cruz. Although I haven't gotten through any of the books where they kind of go into the depth about the Night Lords, so maybe I will appreciate them more once I get to those books. But so far, not really a huge fan. He just seems kind of like, I don't know, vampire, but like in a bad way. Or just uninterestingly evil. I don't know. Although I just finished Scars a little while back. Um, I wasn't sure how I was gonna, if I was gonna like the book or not, but it was actually pretty good. And I have an appreciation for the Khan, Jagatai Khan. He's pretty cool. That was actually a surprisingly decent book. So I think, Todd, if you're reading all the Horus Heresy books in order, I think you're pretty close to Scars. Should be coming up for you soon. Cruz, talk about comic villain. Yeah. Lionel Johnson is only cool because his name. Hot take. I started 24. Betrayer. Betrayer. Sounds familiar. I've been going through them on Audible. Some of them are more memorable than others. Let's just say that. Oh, Betrayer. That's a World Eaters one, right? It's about Karn the Betrayer. I remember that one being pretty good. Lion the Johnson. Lionel Johnson's alright. But they better bring back Fulgrim to 40k. And not Thousand Suns, Emperor's Children with some new Noise Marines. That would be sweet. Probably get their own codex too, like the World Eaters. Need some more chaos. Yeah, World Eaters. Alright, this pack's got a bedroll. I'm going to paint that in Baneblade Brown as well. Not getting the leather strap that I painted earlier. Would you get into chaos with Emperor's Children, Sam? Maybe. I was thinking about it. I still have some chaos guys I haven't painted yet or assembled. I was gonna do maybe word bearers with them, but now I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of going back to Black Legion. Because I think the Black Legion's pretty cool. Abaddon, I have Abaddon. I picked him up at a swap meet last spring. Maybe I'll actually build an army and use him. But he's a cool miniature, so I thought I'd pick it up and paint him. Yeah, he's sitting in a box. I don't know, Emperor's Children though, that'd be pretty tempting. It's a cool Fulgrim model. That would be very tempting. I mean, the World Eaters is pretty tempting too, with Angron. And the new Berserkers. Because they're sweet. This color doesn't cover as well. This is going to be a two-coater for sure. Although the dark brown underneath is kind of working. AS has a lot to offer, brother. I had considered doing a Trader Guard regiment. I mean, I suppose technically I could. And these Deathcore guys, I can make them Trader Guard. Just glue some spiky bits on their tanks. I think it'd be fun to do a Chaos Army with a lot of cultists. Because the new cultist models are really cool. But yeah, honestly, I think I'll probably do Black Legion at some point. I got some bits for you. Oh, I forgot to paint the shovels on these backpacks in Lead Belcher. To come back around. But as far as Warhammer tomorrow goes, I don't think I'm going to be there. It's supposed to snowstorm by us. No Lead Belcher. Just strip the minis now and start over. Yeah, see, Ben, you can actually just paint over things. It looks fine. More packs to go. Bedroll is under the flap. What? Yeah. Three squads of 20. And then 3 squads of 20 infantry. It's a lot of guardsmen. And then there's all the dead guys I have to paint. I'll probably only do like 50 or so dead guys. I'll skip it too if the weather is ugly. Yeah, we're gonna get some proper winter weather soon. I don't think I can go. I have to edit a video anyways. I'm behind. I've been procrastinating. Gotta keep that sweet content drip. To become the greatest mini wargaming channel on YouTube. One video at a time. Alright, I'm gonna do the lead belcher on the shovels. I come back and do a second coat. This one's got lead belcher. Lead belcher. Also, we got some hand grenades. I'll just do those in the lead belcher as well. A nice non-oil wash will blend that all together. It'll look great. Another shovel. I have to make sure the guy who's got a shovel out, I don't give him one of these shovel backpacks. Because then he'll have more shovels than he's supposed to. That wouldn't be good. What does everyone think of the Combat Patrol magazine subscription thing? Oh, yeah. That looks tempting. They give you, I think it might just be in the UK right now. But they'll probably bring it to the US, I would guess, in a year. I think it's, yeah, so it's very similar to the Imperium magazine that they had. I subscribe to that. I have a lot of stuff from that. A lot of Space Marines and Necrons, which is great because I was collecting those armies. Got some Adeptus stuff. But yeah, most of it is actually still waiting to be assembled. But it's all stuff that I wanted and would get eventually. So it was a good opportunity to kind of get it added to my backlog at a discount of sorts. So yeah, the Combat Patrol one looks kind of interesting, but a lot of that stuff I already have, like the Gene Stealer Cult one, or it's just Combat Patrols. I'm not interested in at the moment, just because I got so much stuff I want to finish up first. I'm at the point where I don't want to add too much more to my backlog before I finish some more. So, and just fix my mistake there. There we go. Okay, oh, one more shovel I missed. I could be wrong though. Is it just coming out in the UK, the Combat Patrol magazine? Or is that US and UK? I think I just saw like a Bowhammer article on it, which I think is UK. I think he's a UK blogger. So the second coat usually goes quicker, because you don't have to cover as much. Here I'm taking advantage of the brown base coat I did, because it's all neutral brown tones, so it all looks good. Limited release in the USA. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been having some fun with Combat Patrol. Ben and I played a couple games. It's good stuff. It's a nice casual dip into another army. It's kind of like Kill Team meets 40K. I found Imperium at Barnes & Noble so I wouldn't be surprised to find not out there, get a random models here and there, yeah. I like the format, new stratagems, faction abilities, everything. Seems cohesive. Yeah. It's like Warhammer Light. But there's still strategy there. And it's like kind of still... It's got enough there to make it, you know, strategic and fun still. There's a new Space Marine Combat Patrol and the new White Dwarf, which would be kind of fun to try. I think it's like an alternate Combat Patrol list with the Vanguard Space Marines. So I gotta check that when it comes out. Alright, a little bit more Baneblade Brown. Bring it out here. Ooh, I've passed my 2-hour mark and I'm still going. Guardsmen are fun to paint. I feel like I'm on a roll and I shouldn't stop because I'm almost done. I have not found the Combat Patrol to be very balanced. I think it depends. But I think, generally speaking, I mean, I haven't found 40K to be very balanced. But I get what you're saying. Alright, now I'm going to do some metallic details. Like all their little buttons. And belt buckles and stuff with brass scorpion. Got these little buttons. This little emblem on his helmet. Yeah, these will go pretty quick, I think. Oh, made a little mistake. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Get these buttons down here. $1,500 points or more. Sisters clobbered all of them. I think 1,500 points is a nice size game. It's a good size. It's not too big, but it's not too small either. You usually bring out some bigger toys. I'm going to be not talking very much because I'm concentrating on nailing these little buttons. And I don't want to screw it up. Going first, you know, I really wish that that wasn't such a big deal. I don't know how they fix that though without doing alternate activations, but I don't really want alternate activations. Because it wouldn't feel like the same game. Although it'd be interesting if they came up with a alternate rule set that you can play that has alternating activations. But you can still do the I go, you go turn-based as well. That would be interesting. I prefer to go second. I suppose going second is also good if there's enough terrain and a lot of your stuff is mostly screened and protected. So then you can come up from behind the terrain and then fire away. But some games, going first is a big advantage. Especially when both players deploy very aggressively. Yeah. Todd, next time I come to the Warhammer night, I think I'll bring a nicer list, a more standard list. Although I feel like my Space Marine one was a little more tame. Sometimes I throw a list together and it's just absolutely trash. And it coincides with how much thought I really put into it. Go figure. Keep licking that brush, baby. Crack me up. Alright. Lasgun casing, Castellan green. And then it'll be time for some... Oh, I also forgot the metal details on the backpacks. Let me get that real quick. Do Castellan green on the gun casings after this. Then bust out the Agrax Earthshade and Nuln Oil. Then we'll be on the home stretch. That's metals on your lips. The metals goes... That's metals on your lips, yeah. It's okay, it's all non-toxic. Games Workshop paints are non-toxic, I think. Alright, Castellan Green is next. This is a fun chat. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, so I'm going to do the gun casing with Castellan Green. While leaving the barrel silver. Modern acrylics don't have the great taste of the 1970s lead paint I grew up on. Todd, were you eating lead paint chips? Is that where you get your charm? If those were chips, you could dip those. Too funny. Yeah, just slapping some colors on these guns. Then the Nuln oil will do the rest of the work. The secret ingredient. Music's a little spooky. I'm retiring for the night. All right, Ben. Thank you for the kind words. Hit me up. Let's play a game. Those new nights of yours. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go a little bit longer, I think. I wanna finish these guys tonight. The end is in sight. I can see it. I wanna see this through. Oh, there's a magazine I didn't paint. Or a las cartridge. A game? So I can go 0-4 on video? No, no! I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sure you'll get me next time. But we got a game, me vs. Ben, coming out on Friday on the channel, so... Playing some Combat Patrol. It's a good game. Really good game. Alright, get this gun body painted up green. I like Castellan green. It's a nice dark olive green. Kind of similar to the coat color. See you in the Shadow Realm. Good stuff. Good stuff. Just need a little bit more lead belcher to paint the skulls on the buckles and the helmets and the packs. Speed run. Here we go. Alright, made too big of a mistake on this one. I gotta fix it. There we go. All fixed. Alright. Let's get some Agrax Earthshade going. There it is. All right. Grab my medium shade brush. And I'm going to shade the leg wraps and the boots with a little bit of Agrax. Work my way down the line. I'm not going to worry about the leather straps and pouches on the belt. It's such a dark brown, you'll barely notice it anyways if it's shaded, so I think it will do as is. That is a concession I will make. Did I shade this guy's pants too? I did. Let's shade the pants as well. Let's think about maybe even going for that Army Painter dip shade. Never used it. I feel like that would be too much though. I don't know. You guys ever use the Army Painter dip shade? Oh yeah, I also need to shade the mask area. Trying to get all these major areas muddied up a bit with some Agrax. Oh, here's some hoses I forgot to paint. Yeah, this is a problem when you do batch painting. You like find things that you forgot to paint. Gas mask hoses on this guy. I missed. Let me quickly fix that before I forget. I have enough of my palette I can still use. There we go. Good enough. Yeah, the shade step goes pretty quick. Then I can't forget about the backpacks. Let's give that a healthy little brush. It's coming together, folks. Alright. Now while that shit is drying, I'm going to do the Nuln oil on the las guns. Just a real healthy amount. Never paint metal unwashed. It's my philosophy. It's my motto. Man, I love these models. These are so cool. Alright, got the radio here. Let's get some of that Nuln oil on the radio. Antenna. Binoculars for our radio man. Las gun and knife. base toppers are tight too. Yes, they are. Station Forge, they did a great job on these. I may or may not have taken advantage of a Black Friday sale. And then there's a winter sale, so I could get the stuff I missed. They're the same guys that do the dudes on the bears that I posted in our Discord. Really cool stuff. Alright, now I'm just waiting for this to dry. But I think I can start gluing some of these together. The only downside is their resin. Then once I have these together, I think I'm gonna do some chipping on the armor with just a little bit of stippling. And then I think we can call them done. But yeah, they got all these cool different arms and poses you can do. Uh-oh. I lost my camera. What happened? My primary camera's battery died. Which is, unfortunate. So, with that said, I might just have to cut the stream short. Yeah, I had it plugged in, but it was burning faster than it was charging. I wasn't keeping an eye on that. But I've been streaming for almost 3 hours, so I'm actually impressed it lasted this long. But yeah. Alright guys, so I'm gonna end this stream because my camera battery died and you can only see my face, which isn't as exciting as models, so yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back next week Monday. New video coming out on Friday, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. It was a lot of fun tonight. And I will catch you all later. Yeah, the Sam cam ain't as interesting as the paint cam. So, I'll leave you all with that. Good night. Have an awesome rest of your week. And paint some minis.